Well, thanks for staying tuned. On to news from the Supreme Court chambers. The court today reserved its verdict on the Sterlite petition to allow its copper smelting plant at Tuticorin to continue functioning. Now, the Apex Court had earlier stayed the Madras High Court order to shut down the plant. However, in the light of the extension given by the Supreme Court, the plant will continue to function. Now, it was argued by an NGO that the plant had violated norms as per NERI's report and has to follow the recommendations by NERI. The Sterlite plants have maintained that it followed the norms. Well, in other news, former exiled Malaysian Tamil leader Vaidhyamurthy today spoke to members of the media addressing the present plight of the Malaysian Indians who are victims of human rights violations in all aspects of life. Now, he urged the Indian government to be proactive and raise the issue with the Malaysian government. He also hoped that the Chief Minister would consider the issue in the same manner as she had considered the Sri Lankan Tamil issue.
Since achieving independence in 1957, the Malaysian Indians have suffered various human rights violations in all aspects of life, in education, economic upliftment. Our temples are demolished, there are about 600,000 plantation workers who have been displaced from the plantation since 1980. So we suffer human rights violation on a daily basis, and I'm here to urge the Indian government to be more proactive, to take some responsibility or to raise the matter with the Malaysian government and question the Malaysian government on their human rights record. And we hope that the Indian government would also raise this matter at the United Nations Human Rights Council.
Well, on to news from the other parts of the state. After a sweeping success by the AIADMK at the state polls earlier in April, the October season of the by-polls will see Tirchi West busy campaigning to the run-up of the polls on October 3rd. Now, the counting of the votes will then be done on the 17th. Now, in preparation to the polls, electronic voting machines will be used in all the constituencies and voters' identity will be made mandatory. Now, also to be noted will be the model code of conduct. Well, now to get you some news from the national front, the Environment Ministry could pass a final order in the controversial Lavasa housing project in 3 weeks' time. Now, the Lavasa Corporation had moved the Bombay High Court saying clearance was due as 45 days had passed since an expert committee had given its recommendation to the ministry. Now, the High Court had then asked the Environment Ministry to file its affidavit by September 23rd. Last December, the court had directed the Environment Ministry to take a final decision on its showcase notice to Lavasa's Corporation, the promoter of the project. Well, we take a quick break here, but on the other side, it's good news for all things sports as Amma flags off new schemes. We'll get you the details when we return.